So there's been a lot of surprises, both good and bad, this year. I think today we should take time to talk about basically the main things that surprised all of us individually this year.
Let's do it. What we got? I have 3 that I like.
Yeah, I think we should all give 3. That's probably a good number to keep it even.
Too. Let's go for it.
All right.
You want to give your first one, Donovan?
Yeah. Okay. I'll start. I'm very, very shocked. Like, so before the season, all of us kind of like gave the Heat like their respect, and we're all like, listen.
Yeah, you have to.
Y'all didn't want to give them respect. First off, I need to point that out. I wanted to give them the respect.
Yeah.
I don't blame you for it. I didn't want to, like you, but it's just a respect thing, bro. I was raised.
I gave them a C-. We were grading them as contenders. I gave them a C+, and people cooked me like, "How'd you put the Cavs above them?" But
yeah. You didn't really want to. You were
the Cavs are good. The Cavs are good. And we're certainly. I think we talked about them a lot last week. But I'm actually kind of shocked that Miami started off this slow. Like the 4-7 right now, and they just haven't looked the same. And it's like you would think that.
Tell me why. I feel like they're the team I've watched the least this year. I don't, for some reason, it's hard to watch every team the first few weeks. Let me know what you think their main problem is off the top.
Okay, so right now I think that the main problem for them specifically is the defense, because I think we came into the season knowing that the offense is still going to be kind of clunky. Like their half court offense was really, really bad last year. It was probably going to be the same thing this year, even if Kyle Lowry like steps it up. But I mean, that was also another thing that I had said. I expected kind of a boost in Kyle Lowry after he gets a full offseason with Miami, and that just hasn't happened yet. But in terms of defense, where they've like made their mark, so a couple things are the problem. One is the 3-point percentage for them in terms of like opponent 3-point percentage. That's gone up, right? Last year,
well, that's kind of luck at the end of the day. Like,
yeah,
that's kind of variance.
But that's not necessarily like a structural thing, but it's something that's happening, and so it's causing the defense to suffer a little bit. Last year they were at 34%. That number's gone up to like 39%, which is a pretty big difference.
Well, maybe that's a good sign then that positive regression is coming, because that's unsustainably high. So like a lot of times the early season defense is good or bad shooting luck. Like the Lakers right now are like a top 5 defense, but some of it's because teams have been
they're not a top 5 defense anymore.
Bad.
That's a goddamn lie. They get their backs blown out by the Utah Jazz twice, and now they're mid as hell, number 15. All right, so you got to relax on that. Okay. 15.
Yeah, bro. Either way, that brings my point up further.
He's ready to get this Lakers hit off. I love it.
That shows my point even further, because beginning of the year they were number 2, which was small sample size, good shooting luck against them. Now they fell back down. So I guess, do you think when the shooting luck inevitably goes back into Miami's favor, do you think you see them going back up, or is there bigger structural issues?
We'll see, because the other structural issue is that last year the rim defense was also better, right? In terms of like frequency and how people are getting to the rim, that number stayed relatively the same. Last year they were at 66% defending the rim. This year that number has gone up to 70%. People are scoring 70% at the rim against them. It's super freaking high. And so like when PJ Tucker's not there, and now
that's what I was waiting for.
Yeah. When PJ Tucker isn't there, and you have Bam getting into all of these actions, and now he's the only one who's like putting out all of these fires on the perimeter. There's nobody to stop anybody from getting to the rim. And
exactly.
It's just a turnstile. And so that's probably the biggest issue that I see with them. They're going to have to make a move to go get somebody to play perimeter defense for them. Because if they don't, like, they're cooked, right?
You don't think Caleb Martin's the answer?
Come on.
Or is it Cody? Which one do they have? I forgot.
They have Cody.
Okay, Cody. My bad.
Who they gave an extension to.
He's nice.
He's solid. I'm not trying to say he's bad, but when you're plugging him into the lineups instead of PJ Tucker, it's just he's not solving the issues that PJ left behind. And I think that was the big issue that people like me and other people that had more critiques of Miami going into the season, was that they didn't fill that hole at all. And you're seeing it early in the season. Now, I do have faith in them a little bit that they're going to find ways to fill that hole and adjust their schemes accordingly over time. But it is a big issue, like you said.
But it's hard to listen. The things that are like the two things in the NBA that are at premium is guys who can defend really, really well and guys who can shoot. Like, those guys just don't grow on trees. And so if you're going to go and make a move to get that, what are you giving up to go get that? And who's going to be available in that market? Because, again, nobody's just giving out 3-and-D guys. If you can have one of those guys on your team, you're going to keep them.
All they got All they got to offer is fucking Duncan Robinson and his podcast audience, and like that's it, bro. No one's making a move for them, to be honest.
They got Donovan Smoot out there playing fucking shooting guard.
Listen. You get me in the gym 2 hours with the shooting gun. I can give you 10 minutes. I can give you 10 minutes. I promise you that.
Listen, then you better hit the Heat. You'll earn $90 million. That's all I'm hearing.
Listen, first off, and if we talk about like the Heat in the grand scheme of things though, like they've done a really good job of getting off of like these bad contracts. Because remember, they gave Whiteside $96 million and they were able to like figure out a way around that. Then they go and give Duncan Robinson $90 million. I think this is the first time where they haven't been able to get from under that. And I think they would really appreciate it if they had $90 million to play with to go get a solid 3-and-D guy, because he's like the guys that you would need to be on the floor to offset the defense. They are unplayable together. You can't play Hero Duncan lineups because you're getting cooked all the time. So like I don't know what the move is right now for them.
I'm glad you mentioned Hero. Mo, I want to hear it from you because we've heard a lot of Donovan so far. Obviously, PJ Tucker being gone is a big issue defensively. Do you think that starting Tyler Hero full time and having more of him, less of the defensive players, is also an issue? Like, sure, not having that forward to play rim defense doesn't help, but is it also lack of perimeter play that's making it hard for the bigs?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was gonna touch on that while Donovan was in his bag. Like their bench is absolutely putrid.
Man, that takes.
Who they fucking have? Who is on their bench? They have Desmond Bane. Then they have some
Desmond Bane.
My bad, not
they
Dwayne.
got Desmond Bane over there.
No, my bad. If they had Desmond Bane, now that team would be different. That team would be genuinely different.
This would be some answers now.
Also, my bad. They have Caleb. They have Caleb Martin. Cody's in
I knew it. You're over here setting me up. I knew that.
I know. My bad.
Y'all better than me. I don't know the difference, and I will never put in the effort to know the difference between them. Anyways,
the fact that they're both C makes it tough.
Yeah, exactly. It's hella hard. But they got Dwayne Dedmon on the bench, and then after that, they have, of course, Duncan
Victor
Robinson. I forgot about Victor Oladipo, but he supposedly hasn't been making any noise, and I feel like a lot of Miami Heat fans would have probably, I'm assuming, could be wrong, but I feel like they would have put a lot of power and leeway into someone like Victor Oladipo to go ahead and carve his way into potentially being a starter or whatever the case may be.
They thought he was their savior.
Yeah,
all summer, all we heard was Oladipo's back in shape. He's gonna look like himself. He's gonna be the guy that takes us to the top.
Yeah.
Oladipo is not your savior. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even. To be honest, I've been trying my best to avoid Miami Heat games just because there's no real appeal to watching them play basketball. The first time this season that I've watched them play was when I caught the very end of the Trailblazers game when they got dead in by what's his name again? Josh Hart. Yeah, exactly. But to go back to the question,
that was a good shot.
Yeah, it was a great shot, but. To get back to the question, like, it's hella, they're in a real sticky situation because if you try to go ahead and put Tyler Hero back on the bench, morally, he's just not going to have it, bro. His ego's too big. He got a huge bag on him. And, like, the Miami Heat, how they are, they have no issues clearly putting someone who on the bench who's making a fuckload of money. But someone like Tyler Hero, he's just not going to have that.
Yeah. We're talking a lot about their defense, but like in the day, they're still 11th in defense, which maybe they need to be a little bit higher to be the team they really want to be. But I'm definitely more concerned about their offense. Absolutely. Like they've never been a stupendous offensive team, at least in the regular season, because Jimmy doesn't quite put in the playoff Jimmy effort all the time. Mm-hmm. But right now they're 20th in offensive rating, and I think a big reason why is they have no rim presence, which is a common theme among these teams that struggle in offense early in the season, like we saw with the Warriors when we look at their numbers. But they're 25th in rim volume and 21st in rim efficiency. When you start Tyler Hero and you have your playmakers out there all the time, you would hope that prioritizing ball handling like that makes it so you're creating penetration and creating looks at the rim, but that hasn't been the case. So I don't know. I don't think they're reaping the benefits of giving him more burn that they hope they would.
Yeah, bro. I can't. I wish I could speak on the Miami Heat, but they're just a team that just has no real appeal, bro, to me. I don't know what it is. I'd rather watch the Orlando Magic than the Miami Heat this season. Being completely honest.
Yeah, I don't find them terribly interesting either. I respect them for what they do, and the Heat culture is real, but I find myself not watching them as much as I should just because lack of interest. But I'm gonna give it a couple of weeks of watching more games of theirs before I really have strong opinions about it.
Yeah.
But I see the issues, but I still believe they can possibly come back from them.
Yeah, it's nothing to sweat about at all.
I'm very.
Well,
I'm very
just sweat a little bit. They sweat a little bit.
I'd sweat more.
Yeah.
I'd sweat more over about the Warriors than the Miami Heat. Personally,
Yeah, higher expectations. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Before we keep going with this,
what's up?
oh, do you have something else to say about the Heat?
No. I was about to go because Mo brought up he brought up the Magic, but what are you gonna say real quick?
Before we get any further into this, we have 3 disappointing or surprising in any way teams for you guys. First, we got to do what we always do at the start of the show. We got to give y'all our reactions to your NBA hot takes.
Let's do it.
You thought I forgot? I didn't forget this time.
I low key forgot all this Heat talk, all this Heat bashing talk got me.
Yeah,
got me.
Sometimes we forget, but not today. So, as always, I got a list of NBA hot takes for you guys. Y'all let me know if these are W takes or L takes. First off, Rudy Gobert says that Jaylen Brown is better than Anthony Davis.
That's a W.
That's an L take. That's an L take.
Okay, I'm just kidding.
Listen.
Jaylen Brown has not been that good this season whatsoever. He's been good, but not to Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown's been fine. Jaylen Brown's been Jaylen Brown, but just the Anthony Davis hate. I hate that every time I'm made to be this Anthony Davis apologist on the show. But come on, he's still a great player.
You have to realize why it is though. Like the expectations were just next level. I saw some highlights of Anthony Davis back when he was in New Orleans, bro. I saw him cross 2 people, not 1 but 2 at one time.
Listen,
you remember the highlight?
Anthony Davis is not walking through those doors. Give it up. He's still like the 12th or 13th at worst best player in the NBA, and that's still a better player than Jaylen Brown.
Wow, he went from 7 to 10 to now 12 to 13. Does that not tell you something?
I have him like 9. You know, I have him higher. But just being realistic, where everybody else has him, like he's at worst like 13 or 14.
I'll give you. Listen, I'll give you AD over Jaylen Brown. I'll take that.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that for sure.
I hate that the internet makes me like argue against Jaylen Brown so much, but people overrate him so much on social media. I'm like, let me enjoy him for what he is without you trying to turn him into Paul George right now. Like, Jesus Christ.
I think that man is T-Mac ASAP, bro. Holy shit.
Bro, they fucking love him because he just like, he's a prototypical wing. He's on the Celtics. He looks like an appealing player that seems like he'd be like that type of 2-way wing you want. Oh,
okay. You caught me right. I was like, what do you mean physically appealing player? Where are you going with this right now?
The 6'8" wing that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The type of player you think would be
this
a star.
This man is scouting for real, bro.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Okay. Next take. Okay. MJ says that Kyrie and Bron are a top 5 duo ever.
What is it?
It's a good one.
Is it?
I'm going to give this a W take. Yeah.
I'm gonna say W take.
You got to think.
But they're 5. They're 5. The 4 ahead of them are Steph and KD.
Naturally.
Jordan and Pippen, Shaq and Kobe, Magic, Kareem. And then we got LeBron, Kyrie.
And that's insane to say. You're absolutely right about that. But go ahead, Isaac.
Is LeBron and Kyrie a better duo than LeBron and Wade?
I think they feed off of each other a lot.
Yes. I think yes, but only because we were able to get prime Kyrie and prime Bron for longer, and by the end of year 2, we weren't able to get prime Wade. So if we had gotten that in 08, 09, then yes.
Yeah.
But we were able to just get a little bit more longevity out of the other 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And I understand why people would argue with this, because these two, LeBron and Kyrie, of course they played a lot together, but they didn't produce a lot together, or at least as much as they should have, because of just injuries on Kyrie's end of things, and also like a premature exit out of the Cleveland Cavaliers. So
I was gonna say that.
In fact, top 5 for sure. They're just that.
Yeah,
stupid.
I'm gonna give it to you and say it can be 5, but I think we could probably think of a few more that could overtake it if we really tried.
The one that I was struggling with that like was on the borderline was Bird and McHale.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
And so, but it's like, would you want Bird and McHale, or would you want Bron and Kyrie? Right? Like
I don't know.
Like is Kyrie that much of a better player than Kevin McHale, or vice versa? Like, are we just
is he a better player than Kevin McHale?
That's what I'm saying. Like that would be the conversation. And so I think whichever side that you land on there, that's what your answer is going to be.
Yeah. Are we sure? I mean, so obviously KD and Steph number 1. KD and Draymond? Are LeBron and Kyrie a better duo than that? I mean, my bad.
Steph and
Draymond.
Oh my God.
Potentially, if we're just talking,
Steph and Draymond's probably a better duo. Like if
we're talking about like building a team, And like if this was my team, if this was Ultimate Team, and you get like the two players where you could like start your franchise with, that's an elite duo.
Yeah.
Again, top 5 walking offense in terms of prime. Top 5 walking offense in Steph. Top 5 walking defense in Draymond. And now you have both sides just playing well off each other. That pick and roll is deadly. Like, that's kind of nice.
That is
it's probably a better duo, for being honest. Like they've proven it. They've won multiple championships together without KD. They're the most impactful offensive player of the past 20 years. Probably the most impactful defensive player of the last 20 years. Like,
yeah, I want to say you're right, but tough. The little kid in me, the iconic in me, just wants to say hell no. Even though basketball wise, you're absolutely right about that. I still just want to say no though, just to disagree with you.
You just want to watch a better mixtape?
Yeah, exactly. I'm all about the bag.
Well, listen, you wouldn't have Steph Curry's mixtape without Draymond's impact. So
this man is a Julian Newman disciple.
Oh, don't ever disrespect, like, holy shit, man. That's the most disrespectful thing anyone has ever said to me in my life.
Okay. Last take, and then we can get back to the surprising teams. Swish says that Luka is the best player in the NBA right now.
I'll take because Giannis is simple and plain.
You're right. Obviously, I'll take. But is Luka number 2 right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's playing like it in his first 10 games of the year.
He's playing better than Jokic right now.
I think there's.
But I don't know if we can crown him over Steph Curry. Like, sure, for these 10-game sample size, he's put up better numbers, but Steph's probably still the better player. Steph's numbers are ridiculous too.
That's
right now though.
Are y'all really ready to say Luka's a better player than Steph Curry? Would you rather take him for a totality of the season?
I mean, probably not. But like right now though, like
it's a ticky-tack conversation right now.
It's got to be Steph in my opinion, but I get why you'd say that, but I'm not willing to give up the title yet.
All right, that's fair. Either way,
I'd rather be the last one. I'd rather be the last one to dethrone Steph than the first one.
Yeah, I'll give that to him.
Fair.
Nice. Well, those are our hot takes, so we can get back to rattling off our teams that have disappointed us or surprised us in a good way. Donovan, Mo, you want to give your first one?
Yeah, I can go ahead and give you guys my first one. One of the teams that on the low is key that have been disappointing for me is like the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, if you go ahead and look at the standings right now as you speak, I think they're like the 8th seed, and in the Western Conference, like I think on average that's what most people would assume them to be, around the 8, 7, 6 range or whatever, and like they're living up to that hype. But like in terms of just like what's disappointing to me, I knew the defense was going to be ass. Like they don't really have any real defenders. Herb Jones cannot guard everyone. He's not Jesus Christ, dude. He do what he do.
Damn near.
Yeah, exactly. But Zion has been just a little bit disappointing, even though his numbers are damn good. It's just like when it comes to Zion Williamson, you have like extraordinary expectations when you think about what he did in his second year in the NBA, you know? And so I understand what's something that has to also be factored into them being kind of disappointing is like, hey, maybe I'm talking myself out of this, but Brandon Ingram did miss a couple games because like he had a concussion.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Like,
exactly.
Maybe they aren't as disappointing, but Zion Williamson, regardless of the fact, has been just a little underwhelming. He hasn't been asked or anything.
No, he's been Yeah. I mean, even if you just be as simple as possible and just look at the basic numbers.
Yeah. In
his last full season, he shot 61% effective field goal percentage, and at the rim, he shot 67%. He's down to 65% at the rim and just a 55 effective field goal percentage because he's shooting mid-range shots at a 26% clip, which is not good. So basically, what that means, when mid-range shots for him means floater range, so like outside the paint, but not at the rim, but in the paint. And for those just have not been dropping at all.
Do you have do you have his offensive rebounding rate? Because I know the last time that he was in, he was getting something stupid like half of his offensive rebounds.
I'll grab that in a second. Yeah. But more specifically back to the shooting percentage, it's because in the last year when he was insane, 81% of his shots were at the rim, which is a fucking insane amount to just be able to get to the rim every single play and shoot there 81% of the time. Like, that's insanely abnormal. Now we're down to 73%. And that 8% of shots has gone to short mid-range shots, which means floaters. Yeah. So what that basically means is he's not blowing by his guys easily and getting to the rim. He's settling for those floater range shots, which are typically through contact, and that's why he's shooting so poorly at them. And when you watch him play, you see that he's still trying to force the same amount, but he doesn't quite have that burst in his handle as good as it should be or as good as it was a couple years ago. So I'm thinking that comes back with time.
Yeah, definitely.
But if it doesn't, that'll be an issue.
I think that's a key. So also, his free throw rate is gonna go up. I think the as long as he stays aggressive, like he's going to get to the line. He's too big. He's too physical. People are just bouncing off of him, And so I expect him to start taking more free throws. But if you look at New Orleans, like, again, they're 6th in offense. And so they're 6th in offense. They're doing what they're supposed to do on that end of the floor.
Without Brandon Ingram too, for a lot of it.
And that's, I want to see another 10 games from New Orleans before I start saying, oh, they're kind of disappointing. Because like we've said, Zion missed a couple games. Ingram has missed a couple games.
That too.
And there's 4 guys on that team that can be like a legitimate offensive option in Ingram, McCollum, Zion, and Jonas. And this is the first time that they've all really played together. So let's get another 10-game sample, see what they look like, closer to Thanksgiving, closer to Christmas, and then we can start saying if they're like disappointing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're right
And I think if you look at the games they lost, like they've lost 5 games so far. Are like 4 of those the ones that didn't have Ingram? I'm talking on my ass. I don't know if that's true, but I feel like it is. So like, and
yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, so they lost to when they lost to the Lakers, they didn't have BI.
Yep.
And then whenever I'm going through the schedule right now,
they lost to the Suns without BI as well. So I think 2 of those losses were without BI. Yeah. So like, I mean, small sample size. That's the difference between being like the 3rd seed and being the 8th seed right now. Mm-hmm. So I'm with Donovan. I'm not too worried about him yet.
Yeah.
Their defense has been like, they're 11th right now or something like that? No,
it's way worse. I think it's like...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
they're 15th. They're 15th in defense. So they're league average.
Cleaning the glass as their 13th, which is cleaning the glass filters out garbage time. So that's kind of better than what we expected, isn't it?
Yeah, I think. Listen, they're 500 right now. Again, we just really need to see them healthy with a cohesive unit, because the first 2 games out the gate when everybody was there, they were clicking and they were like offensively they were nice. Again,
but that was against the Nets. Everybody nice against the Nets.
Facts.
That's true. They play Brooklyn and Charlotte. So like, you got me. But like, they just need a little bit more time, and I think they'll be fine.
I think that's the moral of the story. This is the one we're not going to overreact to.
Yeah, not at all. It just kind of leaves not even a distasteful taste in my mouth. I just look at their standings and Zion stats. I'm like, I thought we'd do a little bit better. And I just go ahead and move on. Focus on bigger issues. We got serious teams with real issues they have to talk about. And Isaac, what's one of your teams?
Yeah. So this isn't a serious team. This is a very unserious team at the moment. But it is a big issue in terms of what people are talking about.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm surprised that for the last few games, LeBron has been the biggest problem with the Lakers.
Yeah.
Which is wild to say. Crazy to say on a team with Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook.
King.
So what we mean by that, it's not to say that LeBron's garbage now.
Nah, he's trash.
He's struggling the past week or so. He's had some really garbage games for his standards, obviously. And really for anybody's standards. He has not shot well from the field. So part of that is because he's playing through a stomach virus, which who knows with LeBron how much that actually impacts it. Yeah, so I mean, there's that. But also he has not looked good. Even when the first few games where he shot better, and like last game he shot decently, he doesn't look like he did last year. Like, and a lot of people are saying that it's because obviously he lost a step, Father Time finally caught up. But I just want to talk about what you guys think of why he hasn't been good.
He looks... LeBron does not look engaged from a pure just like visual standpoint.
Yep.
He just doesn't
The vibes are terrible.
He doesn't look engaged, and he looks like LeBron is at the point where he's like, listen, I'm just pulling up to play basketball because it's like I just lifted. I'm just trying to get some cardio in real quick, have some fun, and then I'm gonna go. That's really what it looks like right now. Yeah. And it's just like like you said, like the vibes just aren't there. Nothing's really clicking. I think right now he's like, listen, let me just try to stay healthy. I'm not trying to get hurt. We're gonna try and pass Kareem.
He's definitely frustrated. You can see it, which I think is like a big problem. That this year, the vibes overall on the team have been decent because Darvin Ham's done a good job of like instilling that confidence in them. But as they just keep losing, you can just see it on LeBron's face, and he's never been one that's great when it comes to that. But he's been especially bad this year. At just like the body language has been horrible, and I don't like doing all the what's he like in the locker room because like I'm not fucking there. I don't know what the dynamics are like, but it just there's not that like hustle and like tone setting you need from your best player. On top of him shooting poorly, and like when the demeanor doesn't match when you're doing bad, it's kind of like, hard to work with.
When was the last time that you guys saw LeBron this checked out? Because there's a right answer. Right?
Probably last year.
I would say this checked out. It would probably be 2018. And
I see what you mean, but he was pretty checked out last year too.
Right, where LeBron literally said, "I have to leave for 2 weeks."
Yeah,
like I'm taking 2 weeks off, which is still just like crazy. It's just crazy that he did that. But going into that break, everybody knew like, okay, the team that started on night one, that's not going to be the team come the All-Star break. Like everybody's getting traded. The number one thing, and I really don't want to go into it, but obviously like the Russ thing is just hanging over, and it's like, okay, if we can get Buddy and Miles Turner for Russ, then let's make that deal, and we could try to like build a team around LeBron and AD's strengths. I just feel like he's waiting for that to happen, and until that does, he's like, well, I'm not gonna. He's like, I'm 37, like I'm in year 20, I'm not gonna give everything I have.
It's
one thing I want to say
2-8.
It seems like he feels like it's not gonna happen. Like I don't know. I'm just making this 100% up just based off of assumptions. Because, like, just yesterday, there was a press conference with Darvin Ham that came out. It wasn't published across everywhere. Someone had to through the deep files of the NBA.com site, which is pretty odd. And, like, he was talking about how, like, oh, this is the team that we're going to have. We can't go ahead and cash out on this and this for the future. Like, this is what we're rocking with. And so if I'm LeBron too,
to be specific, he said that Rob Pelinka told him they're not going to go into luxury tax. They're not going to be a repeater team.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is crazy. You're the you're the Los Angeles Lakers. Like, can you stop being broke boys for 2 seconds?
Mom and pop shop.
Exactly. Yeah, and can you pay the luxury tax?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah. So we're talking about all this stuff about LeBron being checked out and stuff, but there's been a lot of doom and gloom about like, oh, he's washed. He's finally got him. I do want to, put that fire down a little bit and talk about the on-the-court stuff and why he's shooting so poorly. Because it's not as simple as just like he sucks now. You know what I mean? Like he didn't just lose a step and he's worse. Like he can't jump anymore. That's kind of a thing. His vertical's just gone, but it was gone last year too. Like this isn't anything new. Obviously, the biggest difference is that people can see it is he's just smoking layups and shooting really terribly at the rim. Yeah. That's because the amount of rim shots he's taken that are contested has gone way up. Yeah. So in turn, he's shooting 69% at the rim when he was 75% last year. And why is that? Because we all know their spacing is fucking horrendous because they're by far the worst shooting team in the league. Yeah. So like that's a big reason why. Like they're not doing him any favors with the team that's constructed around him. But even then, 69% at the rim is bad for his standards, but that's what it was in 2020. So it's not like it's unfathomably bad. Yeah. The real reason that he looks so bad is because he's shooting a lot of threes and none of them are going in. Yeah. He's shooting 22% from three and 28% from floater range.
How many threes is he shooting a game? I feel like it must be crazy. I feel like
6.2, I think.
Whoa, 6.2?
No, 6.2. Well, 9's absurd.
That's Steph Curry numbers.
Okay, yeah. I thought he was
6.2 is a lot. It's less than last year, but it's a lot. Yeah. So if you're shooting 6 shots a game, making 22% of them, your stats are going to be low.
He's Russell Westbrook now. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Look how the roles were reversed, dog.
But we know that he's not going to he's not going to be the worst shooter in the NBA all year. So we know, like we were talking about with the Heat defense, positive regression is coming. So when he gets back to his averages, which will never really happen in an 82-game season, he's going to be fine. You know what I mean? Like he's still old LeBron. He still doesn't have that oomph he used to have, but he's going to be fine.
So is LeBron being fine in your eyes still a top 10 player?
Of course.
Okay, good. I'm happy we're all on the same page. Dude, if I'm LeBron,
obviously.
Like I'm just checking in there. Once his jump starts working, I'm just chucking it, bro. Take those 6 attempts from me and turn them to 8, 9 like I said. Because at this point, it's like, bro, technically speaking, right now, from my point of view, the Lakers are eliminated from the playoffs. They're 2-8 right now, and what that means is that they have to win like 60% of their games in the Western Conference from this point on to make the playoffs. That is not happening.
Them boys are cooked.
60%? That's not happening.
There were some stories that I leaked with Shams Charania was reporting that apparently at this point the Lakers aren't considering trading first-round picks anymore because they're just like, fuck it, why waste your future draft capital on this wasted year? Like, it's not going to get us to a point where we're going to be contenders, so, like, whatever. Crazy that that's at the point that if that's leaking, it's for a reason. If it's Sham saying it. So, the fact that we're at that point 10 games in sucks. And a big reason why it's happening is because the last few games that have been real make-or-break games for the record, LeBron's been garbage.
Yeah, exactly, bro. If I'm the Lakers,
hate to see it.
I would still go ahead and at least push for it because if I'm being honest, they're not going to have an opportunity as good as an opportunity from right now compared to right now in the next 10, 15, who knows, maybe 20 years to go ahead and seriously contend for
20 years, 2 decades.
Okay, 20,
let's
okay,
relax.
20 years,
Let's relax.
that's kind of a reach. 10 years is kind of a reach.
10, what are you talking about? They're still the Lakers. They'll be fine.
This is what I told y'all though. Go ahead and blow it up. Like if they're serious and if Pelinka's serious about not trading Russ and not trying to make a contender now, then what are you doing? Then trade everybody.
Did you see Bill Simmons reported that? Bill Simmons reported that Anthony Davis is available in trades. But it's fucking Bill Simmons, so who gives a shit? But like, it's not a real story, but he did say that.
I did tell you that a couple weeks ago. Like, they should go ahead and trade Anthony Davis. For what? I don't know. I'm not the one for that right now, bro. But they definitely should.
If you're trading Anthony Davis, you gotta trade LeBron and go full rebuild.
And that's what they should do. That's what they should do.
You're not trading Anthony Davis to have a better team around LeBron. Like, what are we doing?
I'm pro rebuild right now.
Okay, well, conversation for another day. The thing that surprised me is LeBron's play, and I think he'll be fine, but it's been concerning that he hasn't been fine so far, especially when you need him to be extremely good to win these early games, have a chance to prolong your season. If this cold streak from his continues, their season's going to be over before it begins.
Criminal. Rob Pelinka should be done.
And the fact that we will be able to say it's LeBron's fault is crazy.
It's Rob Pelinka's fault. How dare you ask a 38-year-old man to go ahead and please carry my team? That's Anthony Davis' fault too. How the fuck? I have to give. I'm on
the hell. Anthony Davis has been the best player on the team by far this year. Anthony Davis has been just fine. He's been great.
He's been cool. Yeah, just fine. The best player on a 2-8 team. How good is that? How great is that? If we're being honest, bro.
Yeah, well, like you said, thank Rob Pelinka. That's your answer.
I feel sorry for Anthony Davis at the same time because it's like this dude went through so many injuries. And like I remember a couple years ago when they won their first championship, he was fighting through like an Achilles injury, damn near tore his shit. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yo, he's had so much years of his prime just sliced off. So I'm like,
yep.
But it's fun hitting Anthony Davis though, so I like it.
We talk about like LeBron has no spacing. Anthony Davis doesn't have spacing either. Like he's still a rim scorer as well. Like it's not easy for him either. Like I don't know. We give him so much slack that we don't give to other people in the same situation.
Just say Kawhi,
he's supposed to
say it. I know you want
whatever. I don't give a shit. This isn't an Anthony Davis topic. Donovan, what's your next thing you're surprised by?
Surprise! We're talking about some more 2-8 basketball teams.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm very surprised at the Magic and the Pistons and the fact that they haven't won more games. I think coming into this year, we saw the foundation for both of these teams, and it was like maybe one of them can be frisky enough to start to like creep around the 10th seed or like the 11th and 10th seed, and if everything breaks right, they could do that. Right now, Detroit is 3-9, and Orlando is 2-8, and so it's like I'm very, very surprised at both teams that they haven't been able to win more games. And it's like they're young teams. They're still learning how to win. This concern is more for Detroit rather than Orlando.
Yeah, I was gonna say Orlando's been injured a lot too.
Orlando has been in a lot of games and they've competed very, very well. Yeah. They've been in 9 clutch games this year. They're 1-8, which is absolutely ridiculous. And so like
define what clutch games are real quick for people.
Yeah. So clutch games are games that are within 5 points, where the teams are within 5 points of each other in the last 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
And so they've been
close finishes.
Yeah, close finishes. They've had leads going into the fourth. They've had leads late into the fourth quarter, and they just haven't been able to finish. That's a product of like young teams learning how to win. That's gonna be fine. And it's like the defense it is what it is.
30th, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Last. The worst.
They're
actually, never mind. My bad. That's Detroit. Detroit's 30th.
Yeah.
Orlando's 23rd.
Orlando is... Yeah, so Orlando, according to NBA.com, they're 19th in offense, 25th in defense. Detroit, on the other hand, is 29th in defense, 26th in offense, 15th in pace. And the shot distribution on defense is relatively the same as it was last year. So, like, the defensive scheme is kind of the same. But they're allowing like more long twos to go in. So that's a little bit of luck because, like, that's the shot that you would want people to take. But at the same time, this is back-to-back years where you're at the bottom of the league in defense, and I want to know what you guys think. My big problem with Detroit is if you have 2 young guards, you have Cade Cunningham and you have Jaden Ivey. Why are you not top 5 in pace? Why are you not running up and down the floor every single time? You have Sadiq Bey who can shoot. You have Bojan who can shoot.
I'll tell you why.
Please tell me why. Because if you are a young team,
simple.
if you're a young team and you can't play defense, that's what we're just turning this into a track meet, and we're just getting shots on goal, and that's all we're gonna do.
One, Cade Cunningham isn't a super fast player. Like he's not Jaden Ivey, so that's one thing. Two, you can only run out in transition when you get a stop on defense. When you're the worst defense in the league, how many times do you have to get out and run? That's literally what it is.
You can push off of makes, and even though that Cade isn't,
you can.
And even though that Cade isn't super fast, we've seen guys who haven't been like CP3 isn't somebody that I would say is super fast. We still see him be able to push the pace up and down.
Yeah. I don't mean like foot speed. I just mean that he's not running in transition like De'Aaron Fox. You know what I mean? So when your team is built around your star player and he's not a push the pace kind of guy. But you're right. That probably is an area they should improve on, especially with Jaden Ivey coming in. But like I said, it's tough when your defense is so bad because one, obviously transit pace doesn't mean like how fast you run. It's how many possessions you get up. And it's so much harder to get those possessions up when you're not getting transition opportunities. And I'm sure if I look right now, their transition frequency is probably almost in the last in the league.
Yeah.
It's something to where like at least an easy fix to where you can try and get some easy points off of a make and try and like manufacture some type of quick offense, because again in the half court if you're not able to create stuff, you have to find ways. If you're not getting those stops, you're not getting those long rebounds to try and like push the pace. Like that's an easy way while you're trying to like manufacture your offensive system.
Yeah.
So I got the numbers pulled up. So their transition frequency is 20th. So they're not the worst at getting out in transition. Like they do it better than 10 other teams, like at least. But they are 29th in points per play when it comes to transition. So like even when they get out there, they fucking suck at it. So I think the problem might just be their players aren't good at the end of the day.
They got Kelly Hayes coming off the bench and fucking what's his name?
That's shocking though, because like,
is it?
I think you were high on them. At least the starting five. At least the starting five has a lot of. I think all of us like Cade Cunningham. We like Jaden Ivey. Bojan is a good player. Sadiq Bey is a good player. Isaiah Stewart has made some leaps as well. Like, it's not like you're completely devoid of talent in Detroit.
It's all right. So, I think the biggest thing is one. You underestimated how long it takes a rookie point guard to get going.
Yeah.
Jaden Ivey's been promising, and he's been like showed flashes. He's not a good NBA player right now. He's not above average impact. Like his rim finishing and transition moves have been as great as we could hope for. He can't fucking shoot. Like watching him shoot's disgusting at the moment. And two, the biggest thing is underrating how important Jeremy Grant was. Having that type of veteran on the team that isn't like some amazing top player for a team, but like is still their best player. Like losing him is kind of tough.
What was their record? I'm looking
at Jaden Ivey's stat right now. It looks like his shot isn't that bad. He's shooting better from three than Cade Cunningham right now. And I feel like when I watch a lot of Pistons games, specifically maybe 2 or 3 Pistons games, one of them he was playing against the Hawks, so it was really easy to catch up on. I feel like Cade Cunningham, he's just naturally like a pass first player who just happens to be really fucking good at like scoring the ball. He's just unstoppable. At times, it looks like that. Kind of like Jokic-ish in terms of just like pure instincts. He likes to get others involved and then he feeds off of others. And at times I feel like he has trouble with like actually getting himself going just because he's so focused on getting everyone else involved. There's been a few games this season where he went crazy in the first half, dropped like 26 or 27, and then to follow up in the second half, he drops 4 points. What the hell happened?
Yeah.
It's just little things like that.
I mean,
it's just little things.
Yeah. I see why you would hope for a big jump from these teams, but I think it just goes to show you that with these young type of teams, progress isn't linear. It's not like every year they get 5 wins better and 5 wins better until they become this core. It takes multiple years of being garbage, and then it all comes together as the players like hit their stride. Like when all your players are young, every young player is pretty much ass for the first few years, and then it clicks. It's not they get a little less ass. Yeah. And when I say ass, I mean ability to impact winning on a high level.
Yeah. And
so I think it just goes.
Go
ahead.
I was saying, especially when it comes to like teams that are built around young point guards, I feel like that's the hardest position to play in the NBA right now. Like it takes a little longer always, unless you're like generational.
Yeah. So I just think it should probably just impact the way you think about we should think about young teams going forward. Is that like I think we kind of do this a lot. Like a lot of people see when players get drafted and like, oh, this young core is so good, they're going to be a good team. Like people did that with the Rockets after they had that draft where they drafted Jalen Green, Josh Christopher, Garuba, and all those people. They're like, oh, they're going to be a nice frisky team, and then they were fucking horrendous and got the number 3 pick. Like it's not as what the talent on paper doesn't always equate to productivity in the beginning of their careers.
It's not. But I guess my thing is I'm surprised that like the Pacers are 5-5.
You were low on the Pacers.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's gonna be teams every year that are that frisky team, and so in my eyes, I'm just surprised that Orlando isn't and Indiana is. Especially
Orlando still could be though.
Especially they're frisky, but they're not closing games. And like I understand that's just young talent, young core trying to know how to win.
It's not even just that. They don't have Markelle Fultz. They don't have Cole Anthony. Jalen Green missed time. I mean, Jalen Suggs missed time. Jonathan Isaac is somewhere. I don't know if he's a basketball player anymore, but he's somewhere as a person that exists.
Like, right now, bro.
He's done. He hasn't played. He hasn't played basketball for 2 years, and they still said he's not ready to practice.
Yeah, he's the friends we made along the way at this point. But even without him, their 3 guards have all been injured. Like there is better to come with the Magic once they get healthy. You would assume. But the problem is the Magic are never healthy. For some reason, their team is just drastically injured every year. So we'll see if they finally ever see their full team.
I have high hopes for Orlando, and I want to see them get better. And you've known this about me for years. I've really like wanted the Pistons to be good, but I'm I'm kind of close.
I don't know why.
Listen, I have no idea either. I just really rock with them. But like, I hope that I hope
likes Big Sean a lot.
Listen, Big Sean top 5 favorite. But like
top 5 rappers named Sean maybe.
I said favorite. Come on, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do that. Listen. Long story short, Orlando has a high ceiling, and I think that they can like. I hope that they can start closing out these games because they've looked pretty solid. They've looked okay.
Nah, screw all that. Imagine they go ahead and I don't want them to go ahead and close out any games, bro. Maybe a few for the sake of Paolo's development and whatnot, but screw all that. At the end of the day, I want to go ahead and see them tank so hard, and I want them to land Scoot Henderson. That is the missing piece.
That'd be
for
nice.
This team. That'll be.
Fuck that. I want them to add Victor Wembanyama. Are you kidding
all right,
me?
now that's OD.
Him and Paolo?
Bobo just finally went ahead and got his stride. Could you imagine
Bobo
the
and Victor
lineup?
lineup?
Franz, Paolo
with a 3, Franz with a 2.
Yeah. Oh, that's just way too
Suggs,
big.
Franz, Paolo, Bobo, Victor.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's a solid 27 wins right there. That's what that is.
Man.
All right, we're at 45 minutes. We've been through 4 teams of the 9. We got to speed this up.
Yeah, that's
Mo,
crazy.
what's your next surprising team?
Next surprising team. I'm going to keep this super short because this team is super ass, and I don't want to talk about him because he's going to kill my vibe. I was about to say Milwaukee. The Minnesota Timberwolves. What the fuck is going on, guy? Like, bro.
You know what's going on with them?
We were on the same page about D'Angelo Russell going crazy this season simply because, like, he doesn't have a floor spacer, but at the same time, he kind of does with someone like Rudy Gobert, who's like a vertical threat.
Yeah, we all thought finally having a roll man for the first time in his career would unlock D'Angelo's passing. And the problem is nobody's passing can be unlocked because their offense is fucking disgusting and stale, and nobody knows where to stand because 2 big men both want to stand in the paint and post up. So there's nobody for D'Angelo to pass to. And there's nowhere for him to go when he's trying to create his own shot. So he's shooting abysmal from the field. He's putting up like 10 points per game in the last 5 games. Like everything's been bad, and it all comes down to they overestimated how easy they'd be able to adjust having 2 big men playing the floor at the same time.
Yeah, y'all got it. I'm gonna just sit back and I'm just gonna.
Listen, let me get this. When they first made the trade, I made a TikTok saying this trade is mid. Everyone's overreacting and saying they're gonna be good, but the problem is you're gonna put the ball in Karl-Anthony Towns' hands on the perimeter, and he's going to have a big man standing in the dunker spot. And he's not Kevin Durant. He's not going to be able to create off the dribble like that. And it's just no chance that they can both play adequate defense or adequate offense, being 2 true centers.
This was just a hasty
Over
trade.
the course of the offseason, I let y'all gaslight me into thinking they're going to be good, thinking they're going to be this regular season wins machine. They're not.
You gaslit yourself.
They're not going to be good.
Yeah, look at him, not taking accountability for his bad takes.
No, yeah. I didn't mean y'all, you two. I meant the general NBA community. Yeah. I was convinced that they'd be good. They're not going to be good. They never will be because playing two centers that are fucking slow-footed and large human beings that are not fast in the modern NBA is idiotic.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what it comes down to.
I think we all just were so happy for the Timberwolves because they finally just made like a.
Who was happy?
Not you. You're not happy for anyone, right? But
you're a hater.
Just most people were happy for the Timberwolves. This is the biggest move since like the Jimmy Butler era that they had, and like a lot of people were like, "Yo, maybe this is the year that they can go ahead and become a top 4 seed and actually make somewhat noise, a little bit more noise in the playoffs, and don't be such a disappointment like last season versus the Memphis Grizzlies." And a lot of people put whole lot of stock into Anthony Edwards in his second year leap, or is he in his second year?
Yeah, third year.
Third year. Third year leap. And Anthony Edwards as a whole, his body language, as we've all seen those viral quotes.
Bro, it's not his body language, it's verbal language too. He hates this shit. Every chance he gets, he talks about there's no spacing and he can't do his job because there's no spacing.
Yeah, exactly. And he's talking. It seems like ever since the season started, he already made up in his mind like this is just not gonna work, bro. He don't even mess with Rudy like that at all. So
who does?
Yeah. This team is just
nobody
nasty.
NBA likes him.
I've been trying to tell y'all. This is the only thing that I'm gonna say about this. I've been trying to tell y'all. Cat's not him. And Rudy Gobert is whack. And you put both of them on the same team. What do you expect? What do you expect?
You're lame and you're not him on the same team.
So now this important question has to be asked. What do they do now? I feel like this is a wild take, but they're gonna end up being it's either me or him situation between Cat and Anthony Edwards, and I feel like they're gonna go ahead and just get rid of Karl Anthony Towns.
They're not good at either of them anytime soon. What they're going to do is they're going to try to fucking figure it out and give it the season and hope they can figure it out. It's going to be difficult because you can't just get rid of Rudy Gobert after you just traded for him.
You can't do that.
They gave up 1 million picks for him, and you're not going to get those picks back.
But you can give up 1 million more picks for someone like Karl Anthony Towns as well.
Yeah. So maybe that's what the decision they come to, but at the end of the day, their long-term vision is going to be Anthony Edwards and Cat playing together because having the slashing guard and spacing big is a great formula. So do you let Rudy Gobert come in and you're just going to decide to pick Rudy over Cat? Like, what are we doing?
Well,
it's funny because they're going to end up trading Cat, and then they're going to be Utah Jazz light with an athletic 2, with the lesser version of Donovan Mitchell, athletic 2, and then an aging Rudy Gobert, and that's all you're going to have.
Yeah.
This is tough because they gave up so much for him. They gave up all the picks as if he was Kevin Durant. Like, it's such an all-in move, and then it immediately doesn't work. Like, that's fucking cruel. Like, what do you do?
Like, they could go ahead and like trade Karl Anthony Towns away and get most of those, if not more, assets back. But at the end of the day, it's just like, bro, you just wasted your time, and you look like one of the biggest embarrassments in the entire NBA.
They're not going to trade Cat. Maybe if it continues to fail, maybe they try to trade Rudy Gobert at the deadline, and they're not getting the 4 picks plus Walker Kessler back, but can they get 3 picks from somebody else? Maybe. Like, it's still Rudy Gobert. He's still as good as he was. Like, somebody would probably pay 3, at least 2. Like, maybe you count your losses and just do that.
I say all this to say, they just looking like they missed a number. What they say, Donovan? They say 21, do something for me. 21 of the Lakers right now. Patrick Beverley, they missing that man heavy right now. That intensity looks completely gone. Someone to keep Anthony Edwards in check at times, that was him.
The Lakers got him. I don't see that intensity. It doesn't look pretty.
Yeah.
Anyways,
next team.
They suck. They suck.
They're not fun to watch. They're actually abhorrent to watch. Like, the opposite of fun.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's go the other way with my next team.
Okay.
But I'm gonna focus on a player. We've talked at length about the Utah Jazz and how they're the surprising team. I think they're like 8-3 now. Like, they just keep on chugging. The thing I'm most surprised by with them is Lauri Markannen. The past 5 years of Lauri's career, he's been an absolute joke. He's been a borderline draft bust that everyone makes fun of for being. People were talking about him like, oh, is he going to be the next Dirk for the team that drafts him?
Yeah.
And he was just ass. He wasn't particularly good at anything. He had 1 good shooting year, then had like 3 poor shooting years. He couldn't defend. Last year with the Cavs, they ran this 3 big lineup, and he looked solid. You kind of started to feel that maybe something was, like going in the right way for him. But this year, he is so good on the Jazz. He's been their go-to scorer, averaging 21 points per game, but he hasn't had like any plays ran for him. He hasn't been on ball at all. It's purely been being off ball, being a cutter, pick and pop, all the type of things you need from somebody with his type of skill set. He's been what you wanted for him when you drafted him. So I just wanted to give some props to him, and I've been so pleasantly surprised by him.
Yeah, I feel like the Chicago Bulls, early on when they drafted him, they tried to go ahead and prioritize him, but he just wasn't there just yet. And then once other players started to develop and things just started changing, the dynamic of the team and direction started changing, you kind of just put him in the back burner and be like, yo, it's in his corner, catch a couple threes, and I feel like he just didn't do enough stuff. And he started to find his rhythm with the Cavs a little bit, and now a team like the Utah Jazz, kind of just like a misfit, throwaway, whatever you want to call it. And like this is the perfect situation. Like I said, I think last episode of the podcast, every young player's career is purely situational, and I feel like Lauri Markannen probably, I don't want to say he's always had the talent, but it's always been there.
No, he's better now. Like he was bad the first few years. Like he's gotten better, and like you said, it's situational because they're not running through him like we're trying to do in Chicago. They're not trying too hard to force it.
Yeah.
The way they play, just the flow of the game, whatever comes to you. Yeah. He's just really good at that, finding ways to score in a very free flowing offense.
Yeah. I'm very surprised by Lauri. The one thing that has caught my eye this year with him is that he low-key sucks from three. Right? He's taking the same amount of threes, right? He's around like 6 threes a game. For his career, like in Chicago, he was 36%. In Cleveland, he was at 36%. He's under 30% from three right now.
Bro,
and he's having the best
on everybody.
And he's having the best scoring year of his career. It's crazy.
Watching him go into Lakers and just feast at the rim. Like he's so hard to stop at the rim right now, just going off of cuts. You see Jordan Clarkson, Walker Kessler pick and roll, maybe Kelly Olynyk doing their thing, and then you just get a backdoor cut from Lauri Markannen to dunk on top of Anthony Davis. Like he's so hard to stop, just free flowing doing his thing.
The Markannen is he's the individual representation of what the Jazz were, because all of us, none of us wanted to give the Jazz any type of time in the offseason, because we were like, listen, they're gonna suck, they're gonna tank, they're getting Victor, they just got all these things from all these trades, and now they're at the top of the West, and like they're playing extremely well, and Lowry's like, again, he's the embodiment of that, where you just have some guy who's written off, and now he's balling. So, listen, shout out to Lowry, shout out to the Jazz.
Shout out to Danny Ainge for. Yeah. I don't like saying shout out Danny.
No, he's probably mad. He's probably mad.
He's allergic to building bad teams. Like just wins.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when it comes to his rebuilding, he's one of the best. But in terms of making that next shift, that next step, I feel like he's kind of. I don't know. He ran into Kyrie Irving, and Kyrie Irving's just not bad news. So maybe I shouldn't blame him that much or whatever. But now I feel like the Utah Jazz are in a position to where, like, instead of tanking for someone like Victor Wembanyama, they can be on the hunt for their next disgruntled star and potentially add that piece, shift things around a little bit, and like be a contender once again and take things times 10 compared to where they were just a year ago.
Yeah, bro. They have like 8 future draft picks from the Cavs and the Timberwolves. Like,
this is loaded. Peak retooling, bro. Peak retooling right here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. They're going to retool, not rebuild. And maybe they're sellers at the deadline. They trade some people like Jordan Clarkson or Malik Beasley or whoever, but maybe they don't. Maybe they just be fun and play good basketball.
Yeah. Shout out Lowry, though.
Yeah. So we're at 55 minutes right now. We've all gone through 2 teams. Should we just cut it there and not do the third teams? Like, do you want to go for 2 hours?
Let's go to the third teams.
Yeah, let's cut it.
Yeah. Okay. So, but we're not going to cut the show and end it there. We're going to do our TikTok segment still, because we got to get to those.
I got
the rest of it, let's go through rapid fire. I have them written down what we're going to talk about.
Okay.
I was going to talk about the Clippers and them being horrendously mid right now. Their offense is 29th in the league, or 26th, whatever it was, something like that. 29th offense in the league, yeah. They're incredibly mid, and we should be concerned about Kawhi Leonard's health. That's kind of what it comes down to.
All right, I'll go rapid fire on mine. My big surprise is Memphis completely forgetting how to play defense. They are they're 24th in defensive rating right now. I think that they are going to be okay once Jaren Jackson comes back. Right now, the biggest change in terms of like last year's defense to this year is that they're short mid range, right, which is like right around the paint, floaters, things of that nature. That percentage has gone up, and that's because you don't have Jaren Jackson in the middle, altering shots, blocking shots. So once
Santi Aldama is good, but he's not Jaren Jackson.
Yeah. So once Jaren Jackson comes back, that part of their defense is going to be okay. We're probably going to see contender Memphis again.
I'm with it.
Yeah, most definitely.
What's your last thing, Mo?
Yeah, so my last team was the Boston Celtics. They're surprisingly the number 1 offense in the entire NBA, and that I don't want to say that's a complete surprise, but it should catch some people off guard. Now, it didn't catch
surprised a little bit.
me off guard completely because this entire offseason, I feel like a lot of people were underrating just how valuable someone like Malcolm Brogdon was. I don't know why, but this man is like, he's one of my favorite role players in the entire NBA, and it's a random left field thought, but he reminds me of Barack Obama. I don't know why. You take that for what you will.
What the fuck are we talking about?
I don't know what we're talking about right now, but
you're just comparing black
special.
people.
Yeah,
he's just
that special. He's just that special right now, and someone of his presence with his skills.
The reminder is because his specialness.
Whoa,
what?
Wait,
he's as special as Barack Obama.
Wait,
what are you talking about?
Wait, what are we talking about right now? I just see you spit up water. What is going on?
What are you talking about? Because you just called Malcolm Brogdon special. You just said he's special the same way Obama's special. What are you talking about?
Wait, I did say that? I'm running my mouth right now. I didn't catch it. I didn't catch that.
What are you talking about?
Whoa, I didn't catch that right. I'm running my mouth right now. Holy shit. You set me up. You set me up. You know it's 11 o'clock right now, and I'm tired, all right? You set me up. You threw in the word special, and then as I was running through my little dialogue.
You called Malcolm Brogdon special.
No.
You said he's generational.
I said generational.
He's such a great mind.
No. Anyways.
Malcolm Brogdon, what do you think about healthcare?
Anyways, like I was saying, that Malcolm Brogdon effect is a lot more potent than a lot of people think. Now, what's interesting is that their defense has been one of the worst in the entire NBA, and that's what they've been known for since last year, since they had that whole turnaround last year. Currently, they're ranked like 23rd or 24th or something like that at the defensive end, and that's completely uncharacteristic for them. But they've still been pretty damn good. One of the best teams in the Eastern Conference still, regardless of the fact. And now it just makes me think, like, you have to assume that their defense is eventually going to catch up to them, and they're going to be right back where they left off, dueling with the...
And Robert Williams is going to come back eventually.
They'll be all right.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to be good. So, them being asked to defense is just kind of surprising. That's all.
Yeah. I expect, like you said, it'll come back, but do they come back to being by far the best defense in the league like last year? New coaching, Malcolm Brogdon's in here, new pieces around. We'll see.
Facts. All right, let's get to these TikToks.
Let's do it.
TikTok.
First one, we're going to talk about Ja Morant. Ja Morant has been the big topic of discussion early in the year because he's been electric. So, I'm going to name some NBA players. You let me know if you take them or Ja Morant.
Come on.
Simple. Damian Lillard.
I'm taking Ja Morant because he's been healthier. He's on the court more.
Has he?
Yeah.
He hasn't been the pinnacle of health himself.
Ja Morant this season so far, he hasn't missed any games.
Well, I just mean the past few years. Like, I mean, Ja Morant gets hurt every year too.
Yeah, but so far this season, Damian Lillard has already missed a couple games, and he's had a couple.
Okay, when they're both healthy, who's better?
When they're both healthy, who's better?
When they're both healthy, it's Dame.
Damian Lillard is better when he's healthy, for sure. But I'm talking about this season, it's Ja.
Okay, I just mean going forward. Who would you rather take? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So look,
going forward.
Who's better right now? Who's better?
Going
right now,
forward, give me Dame.
Right now, I will take. I'll take Dame. Because it's very clear. He came back and instantly Portland got back up, and it's like, oh wow, we forgot like he actually did earn his top 75 spot. Like he's him.
It's tough. Ja Morant's been amazing, but before he got hurt, Lillard was being basically just as good. Like he was looking electric.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give Lillard the nod. I'm gonna give Lillard the nod for now, but I won't be shocked if Ja passes him up over the year.
Okay, that's fair.
Jason Tatum.
I'm taking Ja.
Over Tatum?
I'm taking Ja right now. Ja's been crazy this year.
It's Jason Tatum.
I don't know if I can.
Ja Morant.
I don't know if I can.
Okay, I mean, it's not crazy. Listen, if you said that last year, I would have called you a moron.
Yeah.
But I think Ja's played himself into that tier. But I still got to go Tatum just for the two-way impact.
Yeah.
Like he's not the playmaker that Ja is, but his scoring is on the same level. Defense is much better.
The defense is so different, bro. The defense is so different. That's what really separates him in my mind.
Listen, it's early.
I don't hate you for it though.
It's early, right? Ja's 3-point shooting is at 46% this year.
That's
Obviously that's gonna go down because that's like prime Steph Curry is on fire numbers. But listen, if he can stay at like 35 and be respectable from there, it's Ja Morant. We shouldn't sniff at it.
Yeah, it's not crazy. I disagree, but it's not crazy.
Okay.
What about Trae Young?
Ja Morant. Trey's been not that
yes,
good.
He doesn't.
He's been shooting.
Yeah.
Isaac, why would you put him on this list? Why would you do that to me right now? Why?
Hey. I just wanted to hear you say it.
Set him up.
I don't even want to go into Trae Young's not even shooting 40% from the field, but I expect Trae Young to be better at the end of the season, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Is Trae Young overrated?
Get out of.
Ooh. Nah. Okay, what it is, Trae Young's been worse because he's trying to adjust to playing with DeJounte Murray, who needs the ball in his hands a lot, and he hasn't been great off ball compared to what we think he could be. So Ja's been better, but I think before the season I was saying Trae's better, but I think Ja's proven that he's probably on another tier now.
As of now, I'm not.
Trey's not that guy?
No, Trae is definitely that guy.
Bum.
Is he not a franchise guy?
It takes some time
Bum.
to actually adjust. A lot of players in the NBA.
Are we going to have to trade Trae Young?
Oh my goodness, bro. This dude is trying to run my head into a wall right now.
Do the Hawks need to restart the rebuild?
Restart the rebuild is crazy. Oh my goodness.
Should they dump him for salary for Russell Westbrook?
Oh my goodness, bro.
Get some picks?
In your dreams, bro. A lot of players are not good when it comes to doing shit off the ball, and guys like Trae Young, who has immense potential off the ball, gets a spotlight for that because he has so much potential.
Does he have immense potential off the ball?
He definitely does. So just because of the range,
I'm being 100% serious.
No, yeah, he does.
If
you can shoot like that,
I don't think he does. I don't think he does. I think that we've seen him from the time he was in college to now put himself as a player who needs the ball. I don't think that he has like crazy upside as some off the ball guy. Like if he,
it's
like,
just effort.
He
to me.
can't.
That's all it is.
No, it's feel too. Not everybody can be Steph Curry by trying hard. It also has to.
He can't be Devin Booker off ball. Like there's levels to it, and I don't think Trae Young has that in him to be running around and stuff like that. It's just not in his game. I don't think he's equipped for that.
It's not in his game
Anyways,
as
we're
of
going too
now
far into
because
this.
our
This isn't a
coach
topic.
has not been able to unlock another level in this offense, even though we're
y'all
already
suck.
good offense as a whole. We don't suck. We're in the playoffs right now, and you owe me $100 at the end of the season. So shut up.
Okay. Back to the Ja Morant topic. The actual point of the segment. What about Jimmy Butler?
I'll take Ja. Easy.
Yeah, give me Ja. I'm not even thinking about that twice right now. In the playoffs, we can have a conversation, but for now, give me Ja.
Listen. I get called a Jimmy Butler hater every day in the comments, so you know I'm picking Ja, but it's hard to say it's easy. Like, Jimmy is still that guy.
He's averaging a solid 20
taking
points. I'm taking Ja.
Okay.
I'm taking Ja right
Fair enough. Okay. All right. Next one. So we've talked a lot about teams we're worried about. Let's get an easy TikTok version in there. So I'm going to name two teams. Y'all let me know which one you're more worried about. The Warriors or the 76ers?
I'm more worried about the Warriors.
They
can't play defense right now. Steph Curry has to score 1 million points a night just for them to have a chance to win. He had to score 47 for them to win by 3 against the Kings. I'm very, very nervous right now.
Yeah,
I'm probably more worried about the Warriors because I had higher expectations for them. I thought they were going to go back to back. So the fact that we're seeing them be this bad, I'm really worried about that in relative to what I expected. Also worried about the 76ers long-term goals, but I didn't think they're going to win the championship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Joel Embiid just needs to stop being lazy and actually turn it on mentally and look for some in-season motivation like
He's
a lot
also
of
been
players
hurt.
need to do.
Yeah.
And as for the Warriors, they've had on their level of defense generationally over the last few years for them. Generationally bad defense. Yeah. We've never seen them this bad, and also their bench is really, really, really bad as well. They have one of the best 5. They have the number 1 ranked
Shout out Ty Jerome.
5-man lineup in the entire NBA right now, and it's by a wide margin as well. But once they start picking dudes up off the bench, they completely drop off, and that just shows how bad they are. They're the best 5-man, but after that, bro, it's terrible.
We're looking at you, James Wiseman.
Yeah, James Wiseman I don't know if he can figure it out, man. They should go.
You too, Jordan Poole.
Huh? Oh,
it's Jordan Poole too.
Yeah,
he hasn't been good.
Yeah, Jordan Poole has been ass, but you expect him to be better.
Next one, Lakers or Nets?
Nets. I'm more worried about the Nets. I think both teams should blow it up. I think they're both done.
Okay.
I think they're both cooked.
Yeah.
But the Nets have 2 depreciating assets, and at least the Lakers, if they so choose to, have pieces to where they can kind of start a rebuild. Nobody wants Ben Simmons. Nobody wants Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
Nobody wants Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, I'm definitely more worried about the Nets because at the start of the season, at least people were expecting the Nets to be a playoff team, a top 6 seed at least, or 7 guaranteed. And at this moment in time, they're competing for the worst playoff spot or the worst spot in the Eastern Conference. So definitely more worried about the East. Definitely more worried about the Nets.
I'm probably more worried about the Lakers because at this point it looks like they're going to be out of the playoff race by December. So that's kind of fucking tough.
How can you be worried about something that was cooked from the start?
True. But on the other hand, the Nets might crumble as a franchise from the top down. So it's kind of concerning.
Like, could you imagine being, what's their GM's name? Sean, I think? I'm not 100% sure.
Sean Marks.
Having to rebuild a similar, like, he came into the Nets when they were in shambles and he fixed the situation and now he's put himself back into a similar situation, probably even worse because these guys are actually good, so it hurts more because they would have worked together, and now you're gonna have to fix them yourself, and it's even harder to do now.
Tough.
It's tough seeing.
Yeah. Okay. Last one: the Heat or the Timberwolves?
The Timberwolves. We are for the pure.
I'm with you.
For the pure fact, right, and away from basketball. Miami has an infrastructure. They have a culture that has proven themselves to be able to work themselves out of issues. Minnesota's trying to build that. They just gave up all of these picks for Rudy Gobert, and they don't have any identity, any culture, and I have no faith in them to pull themselves out of the hole.
I'm with you 100%. The Heat have had a really bad start. I think they'll be fine. I do not think the Timberwolves are going to be fine by any stretch of the imagination. Playing 2 centers next to each other is not an experiment that was ever going to work.
Yeah,
Dummies.
absolutely, bro. They're the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to look like one of the biggest embarrassments in the NBA when they eventually, you heard it here first, trade Karl-Anthony Towns away for the mess that they started.
Oh, my God.
Book it. Let's do it.
Nice. Okay. Next one. We're going to run back something that we've done in the past. I'm going to name some players. Y'all going to guess their 2K ratings. Because the 2K just put out their first roster update this season.
Muhammad be playing the game. It's unfair. He's on 2K all the time.
Don't be playing the game, man.
Okay. So yeah, they just put out their first roster update. So we got some new numbers to go through.
Okay.
So I'm gonna list some NBA players. You let me know what 2K gives. Can't talk. I'm gonna list some NBA players. You guess what their 2K ratings are.
Rattle them off.
Donovan Mitchell.
91. 92.
I was about to say 91.
I'll go 91. Actually, no. If Mo's going 91, I'll go 92.
You said 91 first. You stay 10 toes. Stay 10 toes.
No, but you said 91. I'm not on your team. 92.
What is your decision?
92.
91.
You're a bozo. It's 91.
Fucking you freak. You should have stayed. You're not 10 toes.
You got Bish off your spot. Look at you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Ben
on
Simmons.
That's on me.
Ben Simmons, 77. Yeah. Ooh.
66.
Oh, Jesus.
66.
66?
Yeah.
He's a bum. He's a bum.
Damn.
All right. He's an 80 overall.
80?
Still?
Damn.
Ew.
He was an 83. He was an 83 to start the season. They dropped him down to 80.
He
That's
should be
still-
below that,
That's still
bro.
too high.
Ugh.
That's still too high.
66. Good Lord.
Yeah.
That man needs a headband. His name is Josh Johnson.
Yeah, he's a doo-doo shirt, 55 overall. No badges whatsoever. Literally, no badges.
All right. What about Benedict Mathurin?
Ooh.
80,
Rookie.
That man
80.
is nice.
Did you say 88?
No, AD.
Oh,
Can you
okay.
tell us what he
80.
was before?
No.
No.
Yes, he can. He wanted to say it too.
No, he can't.
No, he can't.
No, he can't.
I
Damn.
won't.
It's not part of the game, Mo.
I'm going to say... Okay, can you give me a context clue and tell me what Paolo Banchero's rating is?
I'm not
Say
giving you
a
shit.
number. Say a number.
82. He's averaging like 19
Donovan is
right
once
now.
again right. It is 80. It's 80 on the dot. The same
What?
as Ben Simmons. Yep.
Oh my goodness. That's so disrespectful to Benedict, the greatest player of all time, as you would like Mathurin, bro. That's so disrespectful.
Yeah, according to him.
Yeah. Fuck. That's nuts,
funny.
bro.
All right. What about Shea Gilgeous-Alexander?
Ooh, he's a
87.
90. 90.
Most closer. He's an 89.
What? He's not a 90? Damn, he's been fucking
He started off.
monstrous.
He was 87 to start the year, and they moved him up. So baby steps.
Okay,
Yeah, he's
okay,
an
okay.
easy 90 in my books, bro. Defense.
So we're both right. So we're both right.
No, I think you're more wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
Your number is further away.
I think we're all right on this one.
I just had a better age of players.
I think we all have good guesses.
I know more ball.
All right. What about Zach LaVine?
Oh, this is
83.
Tough. What?
83?
Are you nuts? You laced? He's like an 88, I would say.
You're using 88 exactly.
Damn, maybe I do play 2K.
High.
This is crazy. I'm running you right
Zach LaVine. That's wild.
Yeah.
Seems kind of high.
You're crazy.
Okay. All right, what about James Harden?
This is tough. He's
90.
He's an 87?
I'm going to say 90.
87 is pretty low. Come on. He's not lower than Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. But he's an 89. He's the same as Shea.
Oh, okay.
I
think he should be.
That's a win for me.
Yeah, that's a first W, ironically. It's a Harden W, too.
Overall, I think Donovan ran it this time. Most of them were right. Yeah. He bitched himself off his own spot with Donovan Mitchell, but he was right.
I know ball.
Okay, next one. I need you guys to pull up the group message on your computer and look at the jerseys we sent last week. Remember those?
That was a long time ago.
Oh, yeah. You only scroll up for days.
Yeah, let me scroll. Let me find it. So next thing we're going to do is the NBA, well, they didn't release them, I don't think. It leaked all the City Edition jerseys. So we're going to go through them, and I'm going to have you guys tell us if they're a W or an L.
Can you send it to me again?
Okay, I'm ready. Okay. I'm ready. We finna get into this jersey back. This is my lane. This is what I live for. The aesthetics of basketball.
Yeah, I know you love this shit.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let me get that hook in. Y'all let me know if these new NBA City jerseys are a W or an L.
Ooh, let's go.
The Spurs.
It's a slight W. A slight W.
Are you insane? This is the worst one on the whole list. This shit is garbage.
No, it's
garbage. Not for the complete opposite with that. These are kind of fire.
Bro, this Taco Cabana ass jersey. Look at that font.
They're cool. Anything that like I can understand that because it feels like they're doing the same thing that like ruined the Miami Vice jersey by making it like that weird color. But for the Spurs who for years are just black and white, this is a little bit of creativity. So I'll give them a little
Give me a black and white jersey over this bullshit.
I'll give them a little credit.
Yeah, this is an actual W, bro. This is different. This stands out by far more out of the rest. I don't think they're better than the rest, but they definitely stand out. This is a W.
If I see you wearing this and you're above the age of 14, I'm cooking you.
You should listen. That's fair. And now that you say it, they do look like Six Flags jerseys.
It's Fiesta Texas. Like, what are we doing?
Donovan, you're switching sides. What are you talking about? These are actually
no. I still like them. I still like both things can be true. Like, listen, true. Six Flags has some fire jerseys.
Okay. What about these Warriors ones with the rose on the bottom?
I hate those. These are stupid.
Bro, you guys...
These are disgusting.
Yeah, those are real nasty, bro. Who thought of adding a nasty ass, like a fading rose to this was a good idea? This is... You guys ever seen those... I mean, I'm not even going to get into it, but these are nasty. Just nasty work.
I appreciate the creativity and trying to do something else, but they're tacky. They're tacky. It is what it is.
Why even have a rose? Is San Francisco
like the rose out of everything?
This is
I don't know what it means. It probably means something to the city, but it looks like
this is disgusting. Get this out of my face.
Yeah, bro.
Get this out of my face.
L. Okay, next one. The Charlotte Hornets CLT jersey.
Nasty. What does CLT stand for, bro? Cheese, lettuce, and tomatoes. The fuck is CLT? Like, no, this is terrible. I'm sorry. They could have like.
Yeah, it's ugly.
Yeah, this is just terrible. Out of my face.
The Clit jersey.
Clit jersey.
Yeah, this is whack. I don't even have much to say about it.
Yeah,
it looks like shit. That gold does not look good with the black, and the stripes are bad, and all that's
very
bad.
Stale, bro. It's very disappointing because Charlotte has some of the best color schemes in the entire NBA.
Yeah. Next one, this Trailblazers PDX one.
I think it has potential. It has potential.
Potentially to be one of the worst jerseys of all time, yes.
All time? No. The big old PDX, that's stupid. Like I know that's what they call it out there in Portland, but like that's just kind of dumb. I don't hate the color scheme though. But I
like the colors. It's different. The trees and the stripe is all right. It's kind of cool. Like I don't hate it. Maybe it's a W, but it's a light W.
I hate when teams.
I bet when we see this one in person on the court, it'll look a lot better than it does in these leaked pictures.
I hate when teams step way too outside of their comfort zone. If they already have good color schemes, why step out of that? Stay in your lane. Team like the Spurs, they go ahead and they need to step out. They have to be outside of the lane because they're just gray and white or gray and black.
Talk to him, Mo. Talk to him, Mo.
Portland, you got that red and black thing going on. Like, just run with it still, bro. What are you doing?
All right, I respect it. What about this Hawks jersey?
You already know where I'm going. I'm going with an... No, stop it, Mo. Stop. Stop. It's an L. It's an L.
Oh, this is a W. What are you talking about? This looks cool.
Nope, we're going to be consistent for a couple reasons. One, the 11, look at it, has gradient. We don't do gradient on any...
You're right. We hate gradient.
We are an anti-gradient podcast, so it's an L there. And also, this is a knockoff of their own jersey, of their own city jersey that they had the peach jerseys that they had a couple years ago.
Yeah,
so
right.
Uncreative and gradient. L.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, you got on me. Bring back the MLK jerseys. We don't need this anymore, bro.
No, the other peach one was definitely better, but I like this one a lot. I like the stripes on the shoulders, the green. I'm not green. Oops, the orange with the kind of cream color. It looks nice together.
Yeah. These are a W, but I'm not a humongous fan of these. I'm on Donovan's side.
Okay. Next one, the Clippers.
They keep trying to do this red on this side, blue on this side. We're just going to throw a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo in the middle. What are we doing? What are we doing here, man?
This shit is bad. I kind of like the mumbo jumbo in the middle with the text, the different patterns and tiles of color. I kind of like that. But the red and blue on either side, the lack of symmetry is awful.
I don't know what it is. It's like...
It just rubs me the wrong way. It just makes me mad.
That's what I'm saying. It just makes
You know what's crazy? The Spurs did the same shit, and y'all liked it. You ate it up.
No, but it's something with this Clippers jersey that makes me feel like they're trying to make fun of the Mexicans. And it's like...
Oh, my...
I don't see it. I'm not...
trying to make fun of the Mexicans.
I don't like it. I don't like it. It seems like they have gone after the Hispanic community for years with their jerseys. And we should really review what's going on in Los Angeles. This is terrible.
Well, as you guys can see, Mo's camera just turned off because he ran out of storage, as always, because he's extremely unprepared. So I think we'll cut it off there. We got through 6 jerseys. That'll be fine.
Wow. This is terrible.
They're coming for the Hispanic community.
We need to talk. We need to talk.
Yeah.
I feel like the Spurs are making fun of the Mexicans more. This shit is so bad. They're making fun of the Mexicans.
Holy shit.
It's an attack. It's an attack. I'm telling you, it's like YG's Go Loco, but like on a jersey. It's terrible.
It's just hilarious.
It's offensive.
It is. All right. Well, as always, that's the end of the show.